This is about environmental migration or sometimes we call climate migrations. And climate is causing huge displacement, and that is going to be an important concern for us because there is no doubt that in coming 4 decades in the world will be witnessing more than 200 million climate migrants. And we call migrants, we don't call refugees, because not necessarily they will be crossing the border. This is why they are migrants. And I guess there will be an important issue of redefining the refugees, and because these environmental migrants could be even in a worse situation than the refugees themselves. So, and I can give you the estimate of the Christian Aid Agency that in 2007 they said there will be more than 1 billion population that will be displaced by global warming by 2050, and the potential of 200 million environmental migrants due to the climate change we call CC, later in the 21st century. And the Mayas repeatedly talked about it in 2002, 2005, and 2006. That there will be at least 50 million people that already have migrated by 2010. So this is an important factor that we consider this when you talk about migration, when you talk about environment, we talk about climate. As climate is not only an issue of the geographers, of the climatologists. This is about the economics. It is about migration scholars. So that is we actually have to take into account when we talk about it. And there is no doubt that in 3 times more drought by 2070, the world is going to be experiencing by 2070, 7 times more flood and cyclone by 2070, and elevated sea temperatures will cause coral bleaching. And obviously you know about the Great Barrier Reef that may be dead in 20 years. And that are the concerns that we should be talking about these days today. And some questions are relevant to ask, obviously, like majority scientists would say that it's not anthropogenic. It is, but more and more people began to believe that it is anthropogenic, because we didn't know that what environmental forces causes most migration. How has the relationship between migration and environment been conceptualized so far, and to what extent has it been possible to measure the scale of environmental migration? That is another important question that we should ask. And what evidences are available regarding the impact of environmental migration, and how many people have been migrating in recent years due to environmental change, and also that how many more people are likely to migrate in future, and what research has been conducted in policy response. That is the important thing. And a few more important questions that we should pose, like the reasons for the lack of information on migration and related to environment and climate change, because it is difficult to disaggregate the role of the climate change and economic and political social factors which drive migration. And there is a basic lack of migration data available in developing countries. There are many reasons, obviously, and we are not going to talk about it today. And the lack of data is largely due to the absence of an adequate definition that I mentioned before to cover migrations affected by natural disasters and unintentional law. And it is extremely difficult to predict the impact of climate change. And natural disasters are is not new phenomenon. Obviously, you can ask, it's not new phenomenon, but still why people are falling victims so much in huge number, I would say, and why people do not migrate from hazard-prone areas or residents, because they may or may not be aware of hazards, or maybe they are aware of the hazards but do not expect a disaster, or may expect a disaster but they do not expect the anticipate loss, or maybe they anticipate loss but they don't anticipate a huge loss or serious loss, or may expect serious loss, or they have undertaken or planning to undertake loss reduction actions, or may expect loss but accepted as cost of gaining locational benefits and may have no choice in locations. And like I said, this worldwide desertification is making approximately 12 million hectares of land useless for cultivation every year, and 2/3 of Africa is classified as either desert or dry lands. And of course, drought resulted in a 40% drop in agricultural production in the last 2 decades, which actually is alarming, and we should be very, very careful about it. So the whole idea is that migration and climate change and environment change, that they are not segregated, they are not separated issues, they are very, very much integrated issues. Thank you very much.